I've had two or three people ask me how I transitioned from construction to the insurance business. And I guess, I don't know why I'm getting choked up, but I guess the biggest transition happened in May of 2012. Prior to that, I had lost two brothers 12 hours apart. I'd lost my mom to lung cancer. I'd also gotten divorced. I had left my wife and kids. And I had tried not to believe that there was a God because of all the stuff that had happened to my family. My dad got sick whenever I was 12 and was in the hospital for a year. And once he got out of the hospital for the next couple of years, we had to wipe him, feed him, and bathe him. And I tried not to believe that there was God. And I actually hated God for all the things that had happened to my family. And the way I dealt with all that, starting really in probably 2005 after I'd gotten divorced, was through alcohol and drugs. I started drinking a lot, started doing a lot of drinking, a lot of drugs. I was the fun party guy. Someone would give me something and I would take it and then ask what it would do to me after I took it, and just all the things that shouldn't have been done. I had started in construction in 1992. I'd started a construction business with a partner, and 2007 I stepped out of that particular construction business, but kept doing construction with a different type. And it had been way up here at one time, and but with all the just the stuff I was going through and what I was doing, it drug it way down. And one morning I got up. It was a Thursday morning. I woke up and I walked into my bathroom and turned on my shower. I was out of beer. I was out of pills, and I just had, the last thing on my mind was what was about to happen to me that morning. And I walked in my bathroom, I turned on my shower, and whenever I did, I just turned and looked in the mirror. And whenever I looked in that mirror, God decided to let me see who I was, or what I was. So I spent the rest of that day in my bathroom, just screaming, and cussing and crying. I didn't know what was wrong. I knew something was wrong. I knew I was broken. I didn't know what to do about it. I had no idea what conviction was. At the end of the day, I said, okay, God, this is real. You're real. I don't know what to do. Please help me. I instantly knew that I had to go to church and see my daughter's pastor. That was on a Thursday morning. I went to church on Sunday. My daughter's pastor, Brother James, he said, hey, Keith, it's good to see you here. I'm going to come and see you this week. I said, fantastic. I need to talk to you. He came over a few days later and walked me through salvation. And I like to tell folks that, basically in my bathroom that day, I had a road to Damascus experience. A few days later, Brother James came over, walked me through salvation, and basically the scales fell from my eyes, if that's a real thing. It is. I'm telling you, it is. It was for me. And I understood what had happened to me. The most unbelievable thing. Jeez, the grass was greener. The sky was blue. It's the most amazing thing. He changed me from the inside out. I had given my heart to Christ, and it changed my life. May 19th of 2012. The next year through that, it was just like walking on cloud nine. Life is so much different when you live it for Christ and instead of living it for yourself. But anyway, about a year later, I I got home from work one day, and my good buddy Jacob Har he came to my house and was visiting with me and asked me what I was doing and if I was looking for anything different to do. And I said, well, no, I'm not. I don't know what else I would do. And I said, but I kind of need to separate myself from from some of the stuff that I'm around. And he said, I want you to come down and meet Jason Everett. I think you'd be good at what we do. And didn't really tell me what they did, just wanted me to come down. So I came down the next Monday. I came down it was the following Monday. I came down, walked into Jason Everett's office, and he slid a book across his desk, and he said, hey, have you ever heard of Jonathan Edwards? And I said, well, as a matter of fact, last week my pastor was preaching on that, and I was really intrigued by it, so I had studied it. And so anyway, we visit for about an hour. We get done talking, and we didn't really discuss what they did. I still really didn't know what they did. I just knew I had to be licensed in insurance to do it. But one thing that I knew is that I really liked the guy, and I trusted him. So I get in my truck and I'm driving back to Searcy, and I can still vividly remember exactly where I was. I was right in front of the Ford dealership in Jacksonville, and it hit me all of a sudden. Now, I had jobs to measure. I was thinking about everything I had to do, all the other stuff I had going on, other than a career, other than the fact I just met a guy that I liked, and of course Jacob was my friend. But it hit me right there in front of that Ford store that I'd been spoken to with that Jonathan Edwards book. So I couldn't grab my phone fast enough to call Jason and tell him, hey man, if you can get me in that licensing class, I'll get started. He said, let me call you right back. So he called me back and he said, all right, he gave me the address where to be. He said, be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. So that next morning, I dropped everything that I had to do with construction. I had work to do and all that. I just set it aside. I went to licensing class for a few days, got that class done. Once I got tested and licensed, a month later, Jason actually moved me into management position. A year after that, he moved me into the agency director position on that. And then the next year, become a regional agency director. And guys, to tell you that I've been blessed in this business is an understatement. The best thing about this is, in my positions as either an agency director and a regional director, is recruiting. And I get to bring other folks in and see them just have a phenomenal career. The cool thing about this insurance business is it's not for everybody, but for the right people, it's a career opportunity of a lifetime. And I love what I do. The cool thing about it is we get to give back. We get to help a lot of employees protect their families. We get to help a lot of families protect themselves and from catastrophic events and stuff. And we get to see that played out day in and day out with claims being paid and everything else. But Liberty pays us really well for what we do, so we get the opportunity to give back. That's probably one of the best things about this career is, oh my gosh, I got to go to Africa 2 years in a row on a mission trip because of Liberty National. Without Liberty National, I'd have never been able to go to Africa. Matter of fact, 8 years ago, if you'd have told me I was going to spend a bunch of money and go to Africa to tell people about Jesus, we'd have been fighting out in the parking lot because I didn't believe in that. But it's amazing how God has changed my life, how He led me here to the Everett agencies with Liberty National. And matter of fact, just to add a little bit more to the story, the week before Jacob came to my house, I had finished a job, and this builder had given me a check and told me that I needed to hang on that check till the next week so he could get a draw. Once he got that draw, I could cash the check, do whatever I needed to with it. So I said, okay. So I go home and I get up the next morning and I go into my cabinet in my kitchen, and I didn't share this story for a long time because it was really embarrassing. But anyway, I went into my kitchen and opened up the cabinet, and I had 2 pieces of bread and a peanut butter and jelly to make one sandwich that day. My choice that day was I going to have it for breakfast or was I going to have it for dinner? So that morning, I prayed in my kitchen. I said, God, you have given me an incredible testimony, and I'm going to share it with anybody and everybody that will stand in front of me. And I know you've got something else for me. I don't know what that is, but whenever you open up that door, just hit me hard enough that I know to walk through it. And He did that with that Jonathan Edwards book through Jason Everett. And I told him I was going to give him all the praise and glory for everything that he does in my life. And 1 week later, Jacob comes to my house and invites me down to meet Jason. And May 31st of 2013, a year and about 2 weeks after I got saved, is when I started in this career. And it wasn't something that I would have picked, but God pointed me there and led me there. He puts me in front of so many people every day, and I get to share my testimony. I get to tell them about God. I get to tell them about Christ, what Christ has done in my life. And then also I get to share a phenomenal career with them. So I guess the transition from construction to insurance was more of a transformation than it was a transition. But I love what I do. But one thing I'm sure of through this transition is I love what I do. I love bringing new people into this career. I love seeing them, I don't have a better word than blossom, to go from, 2 pieces of bread and a peanut butter and jelly from one sandwich, to being able to do the things that I do. And I've seen it in so many folks' lives that have came into this business that we've recruited. And if you're interested, if you're out there and you see this video and you're like, hey, you know what? I want to change my life. I want something different. I know that I'm worth more than what's going on right now. I'll tell you this, Globe Life Liberty National Vision, the Everett agencies, we have the best leaders. We have the best leadership team that there is in the whole company. All of our folks do a fantastic job on leading and training, and I'd love to have you come in and visit us. Again, my name is Keith Bennett, and I'm Regional Agency Director for Liberty National, the Everett agencies. God bless you and have a great day.